Bonfire Premier Cup Series. This is your admin, Kevin Kyle, and I am proud to introduce to you your Season 12 primary sponsor, Animal House Customs. Get your favorite iRacing League logo or anything you can dream of on any hat or patch. Animal House Customs has a stitch for every itch. And in order to scratch that itch, visit animalhousecustoms.com or you can call Animal House Customs at 985-222-8065. Once again, that's 985-222-8065.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bonfire Race League and the Paperclip Martinsville Speedway for the final race of our playoffs before we cut it down to only 4 drivers in our championship race. It's all on the line today as 8 drivers will be fighting for their chance at the coveted BRL Premier Cup. This is a high-stakes race today, and you really couldn't ask for a smaller, tighter, and more difficult track to put it at. I'm excited to be here, and I've got my tag team partner, Dalton Geyer, here with me today. How you feeling today, Dalton?
Happy to be here. High stakes. You said it, man. I don't know. Yeah, this is just wow.
Yeah, the
For
schedule
a final
makers...
race. Yeah, final race before the championship race to be Martinsville. Yeah, this could be chaos.
It really could. I question the schedule maker just a tiny bit for any reason outside of just pure chaos, because that's what you get normally when you throw Martinsville in the middle of the season. In the regular season, you get chaotic, crazy races that hurt lots of feelings. But why not just put it as the last race of the playoffs? This is probably the shortest track that we're going to visit all season. Actually, definitely the shortest track we're going to visit all season. The slowest, the tightest, and it really, really invites that kind of grinded out racing that boys have at it racing. So that's what we're expecting to see today. And then on screen here, Dalton, here is our round of 8. These are the 8 guys competing for the BRL Cup. This will be cut down to only 4 after today. Joe Volpus gained the win last week, but there is no winning you're in this league. So you still need to come out here today and perform. Who do you have your eye on today, Dalton?
It's got to be David Owens. He had those technical difficulties last week that had kind of been plaguing him, and that put him in not quite an ideal situation coming into this week. And I think if there's anybody who wishes there was a win and you're in, it would be him, because not only now with this point situation is he gonna need a win probably, but he's gonna need some guys to have some really bad days.
Yeah, definitely. He really is going to need a little bit of luck and a lot of execution. Like you said last week, dealing with some hardware issues, which have been plaguing that 11 car in multiple leagues for the past month or so. Hopefully able to avoid that today and have a smooth race. A little bit of housekeeping as well on this championship standings. I don't see Justin Malarkey out here in the field right now, so that may be it for that 73. And Malarkey already was kind of swimming upstream to even make the playoffs the championship race in the first place, missing last week's race, and that will be the nail in the coffin today for that 73. So it makes it a little bit more simple for Owens, but not all that simple. And here we go with our best of the rest standings. This is everybody who is not currently in the playoffs. That is currently being led by our rookie, Ricky Mandela, but it's only 1 point over Paul Ferdiani. And then Joey Steyer's not far behind either, only 13 points behind Ferdiani. So this one as well, very, very tight. And really, really cool to see this level of participation this deep into the playoffs, Dalton.
Yeah, absolutely. And in those standings, I'm actually looking at Ricky Mandela because I took a little bit of a deep dive into the stats, and maybe not in this series, but in the truck series they run on Tuesdays. He does have a few top 5s, and all those top 5s are coming at short tracks, so he might be one to keep an eye on today as well.
Can always count on you for the deep dives in the statistics, Dalton. Thank you for that. That is interesting. A lot of these guys in these leagues are a lot of times specialty drivers, and short tracks are certainly one of those, I would say, definitely skills that a lot of drivers have. This one particularly for me, oh boy, I struggle here. Something about the flat surface just is tough for me. It really is a certain set of skills you have to be quick around this paperclip. But I'm gonna have my eye on Mandela as well. I'm looking at guys as well like David Medina. I think Medina, without getting that win last week, really just wanting to keep this one simple here today, have a good qualifying effort, and keep that 9 car up front and give himself a chance at that championship. But I'm also looking at our qualifying standings right here as we're looking at the 17 car of Milliken putting his qualifying laps, and I'm not seeing Moral either, Dalton. So wow, things might be a little bit straightforward here.
Yeah, that's for those top 4 guys at least. It's probably a little bit of a relief to see one less name that's down on that cut line to have to worry about. But you're still gonna want to have a good day here.
Yep, you absolutely are. You don't want to take any chances as we see the 23 fish car of Joey Stiers putting his qualifying laps, always bringing us some of the most beautiful Bubba Wallace schemes you'll ever see. And Columbia does not miss, as you can tell from that car. But so far, David Brenner looking good here in qualifying with the fastest lap. Medina, I believe, probably putting in his second lap right now, trying to beat that 19.75 of Brenner. And really, like looking at these qualifying times so far, Dalton, a little bit more separation than I think we're kind of used to here in Martinsville. A second separating first and our last place car right now of Stiers.
Yeah, and that's that'd be a bit unusual for Stars to be down there, as he is the previous winner at this track in this series. But of course, the Premier Cup, yeah, we haven't ran here
There we go.
in approximately going on 2 years here in real life time since they've run Martinsville. But yeah, Joey Stiers was the last one to win.
And I am sure these drivers are not in a rush to come back. 2 years is too soon for me. Martinsville, a place that, yeah, you often see leagues only visit. I don't want to say once in a blue moon, but certainly not a track that you see every year. I don't think you can keep leagues not getting mad at each other if you want to put Martinsville there every year. But when we do get it, it entertains. And I think I did the opposite of a announcer's jinx there on the 23 of Joey Stiers, as he puts in a super hot lap and puts that 23 car in the front row so far with 3 minutes left. We're now watching the 31 VRN Ford of Kevin Kyle, the league admin, put in some laps. That Muddy Duck scheme, designed by Jared Kelly. Gorgeous scheme. Love that kind of neon yellow that he has. It reminds me of the Penske Blaney color. But we are making it through our qualifying times, and there's another fast time. Dalton, Joe Volpus puts it on the front row in front of Stiers. Joe Volpus so far our fastest lap, and here is that 11 of Owens. This is a big moment in today's race to see where Owens will start this race, because as you know all too well here, Dalton, passing does not come in an abundance here at Martinsville.
Yeah, passing very hard, but also hard because it's hard to really kind of start getting momentum when the caution flag keeps flying. Which as often happens here, you get maybe 1 or 2 on the restart, and then they start wrecking again, or you get wrecked and you're all the way to the back again, and you got to start all over.
Yeah, and I've kind of noticed with these races too, as they go on and as the cautions seem to stack up. I think every league I race in, the most cautions in a race record is held at Martinsville, and the patience seems to go down as the cautions stack up. Right, as everybody knows, caution laps do count, as that Nina Medina puts down the fastest lap right there. Great job by David Medina there. I was confused because I thought that was David Medina before, but that was Jose Medina who had a fast lap before. He's now in 6th. 2 Medinas here, both fast. But yeah, as the cautions stack up, you tend to see the patience kind of dwindle down. The drivers start to get a little bit antsy and start to watch those laps click off, and their chances to get those take that track position kind of start to dwindle away. So that's going to have to be something we keep our eye on, as every spot today is going to be so valuable for these playoff drivers, needing every point available to them. Again, no win you're in. So while a win will provide you a heap of points, it will not lock you in to the round of 4 today.
Yeah, you touched on the patience running out, but also, it's the focus too. When you're around here just pacing around, not really doing anything, it's really easy to take your eye off the ball, and it's really hard to stay locked in when you're just kind of puttering around here for a restart every few minutes.
I completely agree. It really is one of those tracks where you have to kind of try to keep that mental intensity, right? When those cautions come out, you're right. You get about 4 or 5 minutes to relax, but when they stack up and the racing here is so intense, you're constantly getting bumped in front of you, behind you. You're just very, very full contact racing. And you really do very much have to get yourself in that mental space to be able to send it like that. And it can be difficult with when the cautions start to stack up and you're constantly getting those opportunities to relax, putt around the track, and then have to stack it back up and go for it again. But 10 seconds left in qualifying, and I'm going to venture to say that no one else is going to hit the track. So for the bajillionth time this season, David Medina looks like he's going to put it on the pole. What a great lap by that Nina Medina and the driver trying to make the championship race so far, controlling his destiny. Second place, we're going to have Kyle Lynott with another excellent lap. Third place, last week's winner will be Joe Volpis. Fourth place, Jared Kelly. And fifth is Joey Stiers. And then sixth will be David Brenner. Seventh, David Owens. Eighth, Jose Medina. Ninth, Zach Engel. And rounding out our top 10 will be Steve and Neal.
And then we look down in 11th, we got Kevin Kyle. We got Michael Sarah in 12th. Chris Smith, 13th. Old Gerald Rose in 14th. Dennis Puckett, 15th. 16th, Sam Milliken. 17th, Ricky Mandela Sr. 18th, Paul Ferdiani. 19th, Richard Leclerc. 20th, Matthew Serwick. 21st, Michael Benton. 22nd, Matt Schofield. And rounding out the field, also with no time set, good old Tommy Fox.
Man, another great qualifying effort from the rookie Jerry Rowe. It's really cool to see him improve throughout the year, especially with this qualifying times, really finding that single lap speed. Really cool to see. Really all our rookies this year have showed such good improvement. A lot of them came here with a lot of speed already, guys like Mandela. But other ones have been learning on the spot, and they've been doing a great job in a very difficult car. And today they're going to have one of the most difficult tracks to deal with it. Over under, Dalton. How many cars are going to come back from this race with no scratches on them?
You know, I think my prediction is, let's see. You know, I think maybe we see one or two at the front come back with nothing, but I think most of this field, I'm thinking at least 20 cars are going to have some kind of bump or bruise.
I agree. I completely agree. And it's a shame because look how pretty some of them look right now. Some really good paint schemes are in this field today, and they are not going to look that pretty when this thing is over. But here we go with that incredible camera work by our producer, Jared Kelly. Look how good that looks. Ooh, look at that shot of the paperclip right there. Sold out crowd here to watch the BRL Cup Series do their thing as the pace car starts to roll. I believe since it's such a small track, we'll be doing 2 pace laps around this track before we go green and line this thing up. 23 cars today. A smaller field on the BRL side of things, but at the same time, in my opinion, plenty big for this track. Plenty big.
Yeah, but that's not what David Owens wants to see. He wants more spots because that, less people to show up. That's guaranteed points for the guys that are showing up. So a bigger field size would have kind of played more into his favor here, but looks like that's not going to be the case.
That's a really good point. The more cars in the field, the more points available to you with the point system going down 1 point per position. So yeah, only 23 points essentially available to a driver like David Owens. So he's really going to have to make the most of this race, try to stack up those bonus points where he can, lead some laps, put down some fast laps, and give himself the best chance he can. It's going to be tough. We're probably going to be doing a lot of math today as this race goes on, and we keep our eye on our 6 guys who are on this track racing for that chance at a championship. They're going to cut down to only 4 as the pace car brings it down into the pits. Whole time by David Medina, and for the last time in the playoffs before we get ready to crown a champion and cut it to 4, we're going to go green here at BRL. The green flag is out as David Medina leads them into turn 1. Kyle Lynott on the outside. Hard on the brakes goes the entire field. So far, so good. Keeping it clean. You're seeing a lot of side-by-side action there, Dalton. And these guys trying to get their positions while they can.
AC Medina and Lynott side by side still for that lead.
Look at Lynott trying to use the top to get a run on Medina. We'll see if this works. This will be a huge lesson for the rest of the field here today to see if he can make that top line work. Not quite so far. I think Medina's going to try to send it in deep here and then clear him on exit. We'll see if he's able to, because if Lynott can't complete this, you know he's going to want to file in behind Medina and not lose more spots.
Yeah, it looked like he was about to file in there, but it looks like Lynott thinks there is some speed around the outside. He keeps just kind of sending it in there, staying on that outside quarter as Medina finally clears him here.
Yeah, Lynott really not putting on the squeeze too hard on Medina there. Can't blame him. We are lap 3 out of 175 laps around this place. Now is not the time to be making moves like that. But Lynott, nonetheless, maybe learning something there, seeing that he can use that top lane to keep momentum, and maybe if he wants to be more aggressive later in this race and really put the squeeze on, start making passes that way. As we start to see deeper in this field, some passes, it looks like Puckett getting past there for, I think that is about 15th place, as this field already starting to spread out quite a bit, Dalton.
Yeah, and one thing I'm seeing is the guys that are kind of trying to set up these passes, they're entering high and they're kind of diamonding it down. They're trying to kind of cut down and get that run out of the corner so they can get to the inside of the guy in front of them.
Yeah, an interesting approach for sure. But there are a lot of different ways you can drive this racetrack. You can do the little mini diamond on the bottom. You can kind of make a wide arc of it if you'd like, or you can just go that full send, enter low, and kind of park the car and drive it around that way. Everyone likes to attack this place differently, and it'll be fun to see how people can find different amounts of speed throughout this race as we were watching that 12 car. Currently running that mini diamond that Dalton was talking about. Oh, and he goes around. Oh, and just like that, we got a caution. Oh, man. Dennis Puckett around early, all by himself, a little bit of a self-spin there, and that is so easy to do. No judgment on my end right there. All it takes is about, what, 5% too much throttle, and around she'll go.
Yeah, you really, I mean, and they say this at the road courses where you got to pretend there's an egg you're not trying to break under the throttle. It's kind of the same here too. If you stomp on that thing a little too heavy, if you don't realize you're sliding out of that corner, it can be really easy for that thing to just go around.
Yeah, that really is exceptional advice that I really give all of my teammates. Or we're coaching a few of our teammates right now, Dalton, and that's one of the things I'm always preaching to them. You gotta pretend like there's an egg below that throttle, because if you stomp on it, you're gonna crack the egg and you're gonna spin the car. You gotta be so gentle, not just to save tires, but also to make the car a little bit more predictable. However, for that 12 of Dennis Puckett, that could have been far worse. I didn't see him hit anything. He stays in the lead lap, so really no harm, no foul there for the 12. And I doubt the last time we'll see that from a race car today.
Yeah, it looks like a couple takers on pit road. It's going to be, looks like Ferdiani and Jose Medina coming in. I think just probably topping off on fuel.
Interesting. So early in this race, 175 laps around this place today, Dalton. We are really putting in a lot of laps here around Martinsville. So it's, in my opinion, a little bit early to be thinking about that. But at the same time, what do I know? Also, one thing that you're gonna have to be, or we're gonna have to be very aware of, and these drivers have to be very aware of today, it is far too easy to go a lap down under caution here, whether it be putting on tires if you're in the back of the field, getting damage fixed, or taking an extra pit stop. It is a short caution lap around this place, and you've got to be careful about how much time you want to spend in pit lane.
Yeah, I'll let you in on a little secret here, Zach. I don't think I have ever, in my time racing in the sim, I don't think I have ever seen a green flag pit cycle at Martinsville.
I don't think I have either.
So I mean, I think you got to get that gas where you can. I mean, and why not this early? Gives you just a 10-lap advantage, so that in the off chance that there is that green flag pit cycle, you're in kind of a better spot. You can stay out 10 laps longer and hope for that caution, because if you come down pit road, you're going 2 laps down usually on
at least
a green flag stop. Yeah.
Good point though, man. I just realized I've never even practiced pit entry under green here. I wouldn't even know what to do. But here we go, getting ready to go green
on the wall.
Oh no, another technical issue, I'm assuming, from the 11 of Owens as we go green with the 9 of Medina. That is not going to bring out a caution, not today. So the 9 of Medina is going to take the lead, and that is Owens parked up against the wall. Oh no, that 11 car clearly with some technical difficulties, and there he is towing, and that is likely going to be it for the 11 car of, oh no! He appears back and goes in front of the field. Okay, caution is out. What happened there?
Yeah, that beats the heck out of me.
He like untowed. I didn't know you could do that. What software does that 11 have on his computer?
Either that or yeah, I don't know if it was an untow or if it was just network difficulties at the exact same kind of time,
Right.
and maybe when he reconnected, whatever got disconnected, it brought him back. But yeah, I don't know if that was a I don't know if that was an admin caution or if the sim threw that caution. But either way, uh, probably for the best that came out instead of
Yeah.
letting the whole rest of the field try to navigate that.
That could have been far worse than it was. I'm also seeing that 11 car a little bit crooked, a little bit lower on the right side than the left. I'm not sure if that's the unevenness of pit road or if that 11 had a little bit more damage than was let on. I didn't see the initial hit of the wall. Was it significant, Dalton?
Looked like he just kind of drifted into it. As we see, Ferdiane also followed him on the pit road.
Yeah, the car looks a little
Yet
crooked to
another
you,
top
to
off.
me.
But yeah, it could just be the way a Martinsville car needs to be.
Yeah, true. Could be
Set
that as
up.
well.
'Cause, it is slow and flat, so you need a little bit extra lean. But
So Owens is gonna look like not give up quite yet. He only went one lap down there, so that caution that he will get that lap back with the lucky dog. So I think at this point it's just a matter of the equipment holding on for David Owens. We'll have to keep our eye on that today, but I can't blame Owens for not wanting to give up quite yet and stay out there with the race not completely out of his hands yet. We're gonna get those cautions, so he shouldn't have too much trouble getting that lap back if he's able to stay on track.
if he's able to stay on track and if he's able to stay out of whatever wreck happens, because if he
Yeah, they're gonna be in front of him now.
Yeah.
That is a problem. Good point. Like now every wreck is in front of you and they're gonna be there. And if you as much as graze a car, there goes your lucky dog. Pace car is off as David Medina is going to lead them into green again with Kyle Lanat on his outside. Still got the same top five we started this race with. Joey Styres is fourth, Joe Fulp is third, and Jared Kelly in fifth. As on the inside comes David Medina, and great jump from that 9. Going early in the box and absolutely leaves Lanat for dead. Huge lead for the 9 as we go into turn 1.
It's like Jared Kelly back there trying to stay on the inside of Styres. Looks like he's going to clear him there.
And you're seeing the difference in checkup speed or corner entry speed. So many cars setting in deeper, different agendas, different approaches of this track. You see it right there. Kelly a little bit deeper than the 07. Trying the outside, and it's Styres and Kelly get together.
No.
Oh no, around goes Kelly after contact with Joey Styres. Oh no! Kevin Kyle forgets what the big pedal does. 37 gets to him as well. Oh man, Chris Smith involved in that, Kevin Kyle, and Jared Kelly involved in that one. And I believe we're under caution.
Little meeting of the minds there on that contact.
Huge repercussions there.
Yeah. Was that face-to-face contact there?
It was. Kevin Kyle and Jared Kelly got to know each other even better than they already do right there. Kyle very much wanting to say hi. So that's what looked like it wasn't going to be a very heavy damage situation for the 55 of Kelly. Now looks like it could be pretty significant with those hits from the 31 and 37.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird one. It looked like, and this is just how quick things can happen around here. It looked like Kelly had a good run around the outside of Vulpes, but ultimately ultimately got in a little too hard, and that left the door open for Styres, and Styres just pushed the issue a little too hard, I think, and yeah, just contact on exit.
Yeah, again, like I said in that first wreck with the 12 of Puckett, and I don't think that'll be the first or last time we see that today. As you see, Styres actually now going to the front of the field next to Medina. Not sure what the agenda for Styres is here, as he now is going to slow down. Any idea what's going on with Styres here? Oh, now he's going back down to fourth. Maybe a damage check. I'm assuming that was a damage check with the teammate. Trying to see what happened there with the 55 and see if he has any damage. That 23, I think, definitely got the best of that situation there. That car still looks healthy, but that is a front of the field incident there. That is in our top 5, and that's the first time our top 5 is going to get mixed up a little bit as David Brenner now will enter.
Yeah, and I think I talked a little bit about the Truck Series earlier. Yeah, speaking of that Tuesday Truck Series, I believe David Brenner has the last Martinsville win over there. So this is a track that he likes, and we'll see if he can find his way to the front here.
David Brenner is a very, very strong short track racer. Really understands this type of racing. I mean, David Brenner actually just a very good all-around racer. Also very strong on road courses and cookie cutter mile and a halves. We see him fast everywhere, but no surprise to me to learn that he won the last time they were here in trucks. Next Gen's a different story, but the same track as here we go again. 4th time already. We're going green. David Medina on the inside. Great restart there. Better launch there from Lynott. Vulpes below him, and wow, Lynott sends it in very deep on that outside, trying to experiment a little bit with what he can do with that outside lane.
Yeah, that's what you got to do if you want to.
Oh no.
Have a chance at Medina. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, 117. Oh boy, Leclerc into the 61 of Schofield. Schofield into the tire barrier, doing his best Kyle Larson impression. And 2 more cars. That's Schofield towing in the 117 across the track in front of everybody. We got about 100 yards in that one. Oh, man. Sounds like Martinsville, Dalton.
See, it looks like Jose Medina down pit road. Not sure if... Yeah, he's bypassing his pit box, so I think he just ducked down there to avoid the incident altogether. So some heads-up thinking there to avoid damage by Jose Medina.
Better than hitting the barrels. And also, shout out Jose Medina. We might not be at Darlington in this league, but the Cup Series and real NASCAR in Darlington this week. So kind of a throwback weekend, and Jose Medina participating with that awesome sicko scheme. That thing looks gorgeous. I always love when you kind of can work in a retro scheme, but also make that push forward number look right. So I like that a lot. Very, very good looking car there. As we are under caution for the 5th time today, and only, how many laps has it even? I don't even know how many laps it's been. Not that many. Not even 25. So we have absolutely ran more laps under caution than we have in green at this point. As we see, I believe that was a 37 of Chris Smith getting the lucky dog there. And we will line it up. Light's still on the pace car. So while we have this time, because who knows if we'll get another caution today, Dalton. Let's take a look at what we'll be doing after this. We're going to be doing a live stream of the Darlington race for NASCAR, and it's going to be a throwback themed one. We're going to wear our best throwback clothes, glasses, maybe even hairstyles, and we'll be looking awesome and enjoying one of NASCAR's most iconic and oldest tracks. I'm excited for today, but check us out on youtube.com/@Vortex Racing Network, or scan that QR code on your screen right there. Come follow us on, or subscribe to us on YouTube and be entered to win this giveaway that you see on screen right here, including a Bowman 124 diecast autographed by him, Labonte autographed trading card, Daniel Dye sheet metal, a custom paint ski from Jared Kelly, which we already talked about how good looking those are, a KK Woodscapes gift card for your first iRacing victory, and some merch from Salmon Amateur Stores, VRN, and Daily Drivers Inc. So come hang out with us after this race. We'll see. I might be going to a car show after this, and if I do, I'll bring you guys around the car show during commercials, and I'll show you some badass cars. So we'll have a fun, unique day today. But here we go, getting ready to go green for the 6th time today, I believe, as David Medina is going to lead them to the green flag with Lynott still on his outside. Another great launch. Medina seeming like he's liking the earlier part of that restart zone. Can't blame him. Also what I like to do, as he gets a great launch there. Lynott, even with the bottom available to him, choosing the top. Very, very curious there from the 988 of Kyle Lynott, but I like it. He really seems to have that top line figured out, Dalton.
Yeah, and that also could just be, well, actually, now you see him pulling back up to Medina. I was going to say, it could also be a little bit of self-preservation, too, as, this field's stacked up early here, and you really don't want to be worried about the guy behind you throwing it in a little too hard. And so maybe just given that room, knowing you're going to have that run on exit, just in case that quote unquote dive bomb is coming early.
It's so true. Corner exit's such a big deal here at Martinsville. If anything, yeah, like you said, just to protect you from that dive bomb, which is always lingering behind you from the driver behind you. But Lynott is just getting some brilliant runs on the outside right now and really doing a great job of staying with that 9 and really closing in on him down the backstretch and the front stretch. He just is going to have to time it correctly. As you see Owens here to the inside of, I believe that's Jerry Rose. It's a Pennzoil car, so I'm going to assume it is. As Owens trying to make his way through this field with his lap back, getting the lucky dog after a few of those cautions. So David Owens in damage control mode here and doing a great job of it, almost back in the top 10 already.
Yeah, this is where things are going to get interesting. You're going to see we had a few cars that had some speed early, wind up at the back, either through incidents or otherwise, and now kind of having to work their way through the field. So this is where it'll get interesting, having to see some passes be made here to get back up there.
Yeah, definitely. And so with the exception of our first run today, I believe this has probably got to be our longest run. And what I'm looking at already, Dalton, look at that top 10 in terms of the deltas. Sarah there in 10th place, already 4.5 seconds behind our leader of David Medina. Those are enormous gaps for Martinsville. Absolutely enormous. Oh, no. Oh, the 69. The 69 at Benton, that looked like an equipment failure to me as well, Dalton.
No yellow?
Yeah, the yellow's out. As Benton has it parked up against the front stretch wall, and he just made a left turn, a sharp left straight into that wall on exit. It didn't even look like that much of a loose moment, but maybe it was. To me, it looked like an equipment failure, but who knows at this place? It could have just been a little bit too much gas. Like we said, we're going to see that over and over today. But nonetheless, that's going to be a lap down for the 69 at Benton, and definitely a good amount of damage on that 69 car.
Yeah, there's no good place to have an equipment failure, but this might be one of the worst places to have one because it's just so claustrophobic around here. But lucky that he was able to just keep it on the inside wall like that, and yeah, looks like it's just going to stay a single car incident as we're going to re-rack him here in a couple laps.
Yep, and we see some damage fixing here from the 31 of Kevin Kyle, the 37 of Chris Smith, fixing their damage there, trying to give their car or make their car as healthy as possible. But yeah, I don't know if it's something in the water, Dalton, or it's something after the new update, but man, have you ever seen so many equipment failures in the span of like a month as we've seen recently?
I have not. It's an epidemic, and I want it to end.
I do too.
Maybe we need like an awareness charity or something like that.
We do, because one thing too, it never happens when I'm running second to the leader ever. So it's always just unfortunate equipment failures that just make me sad for my fellow competitors. Never ones that benefit me. So let's just get it fixed. And yeah, it's weird. I've definitely been noticing a lot. David Owens struggling. I believe it's like with a chip issue with his wheel, I think it is. And not sure what that was there with Benton. That looked like another wheel just locking in down to the left, similar to what Owens is dealing with. But who knows? I mean, this track also very, very demanding of equipment when it comes to the force feedback, the way this track feels. This track asks a lot out of your equipment, no matter what you're running.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you're ever turning the wheel harder on an oval than around here. At least not in these cup cars.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. Just
completely agree.
Looks like we're set to go green here.
Yep, David Medina and Kyle Lynott controlling that front row all day today. And Lynott, he is showing more and more strength every run. If he gets enough laps, I'm very curious to see if that 98 has anything. Oh, Lynott really not going. Continuing to, it looks like missed shifts. That had to have been a missed shift.
Oh, wow. You see the big checkup there on that outside lane. So it looks like they navigated it all right. Looks like they got it all figured out, but that's going to put, looks like Joe Volpus up in the second there.
Yeah, Lynott just did not go. It looked like he missed the shift, and then even then, after that, Dalton, he still struggled. Oh, what do you know? What do you know? I believe that should bring out a caution. Oh, we're gonna stay. We're gonna stay green as Jared Kelly goes around, but we are going to stay green. The flagman's sick of it already, and we are still green here as David Medina leads them. Joe Volpus second, Joey Steyer's third, and Kyle Lynott recovering from that poor restart, now in fourth place.
Yeah, look at that. Is Owens already back up here? Man. think he's up into
Oh my
seventh
gosh.
or eighth.
He's an 8th. What the hell, David Owens?
He is coming, and you know what? Honestly, that shouldn't surprise me. You know, there was plenty of time, and there still is plenty of time left in this race for him to get back up there.
Oh, yeah. You can never count. I mean, there's any driver on the planet you can never count out, and if you do, you're making a mistake. It's David Owens. He was 3 laps down a few weeks ago, and we wouldn't count him out. Sure as hell not going to count that guy out after 1 lap down. But here he is back in 8th place, doing a great job recovering and giving himself a chance to race for a championship. Oh, no! Around goes Puckett. As Kevin Kyle gets into Puckett. Good friends, admins, get into each other. Oh, no. And are we still green? No, we are not. We are under caution. It's just in the nick of time. The 12 and the 31 get that car rolling. Man, they could not have afforded an extra second there, Dalton, without going a lap down.
Yeah, absolutely, and maybe kind of scared the leaders a little bit there. That's kind of a blind section there coming off the corner like that.
Oh yeah, not
so,
fun.
Yeah, glad the yellow came out.
I'm sure Medina came around and he was just like, oh no, oh my gosh. Hopefully the caution was already out for him. So yeah, let's go through our field too right now. I want to shout out Matt Skirwick doing a great job over in 8th place in the Daily Drivers Inc. Chevy. Really, really good run from him at a difficult track. And Matt, a rookie to this year, he joined about halfway through the season. And just like all our other rookies, has been showing really, really solid improvement and doing a great job today. Behind him, you see one of the best-looking cars in the entire field, and that is the Racing Champions number 45 of Steve Neal. Steve Neal, one of our playoff drivers, really just needing a solid run today. He needs to do what he's done all year, which is keep that 45 car clean and get the checkered flag, and he will give himself a chance at that championship. I have my eye on Neal as well, and very, very proud of him, a driver that I race with in a lot of other leagues. Very proud to see what he's accomplished this season, having a great year and showing what consistency he can do for you.
Yeah, absolutely, and not to sort of bring the conversation back to David Owens here, but he came down pit road. I don't think he really had any damage. I think that was a 4-tire pit stop. I think he's on fresh tires right now.
I guess why not, right? I don't think we have that many cars in the lead lap anymore. A lot of them have damage in front of Owens, so I would see why you wanted to do that. We're going to continue to get a lot of cautions, I think. So you might as well put those tires on it while you can use it to get some position. I think what Owens may have also seen there, Dalton, was dropping up to 7th or 8th there. He kind of did stall out around 8th and stop making that really, really solid forward progression that he was making up until then. Maybe thinking, let me put 4 freshies on it and I'll use those to make that progression that I couldn't quite make there before. Because I think, yeah, let's keep our eye on that 11 car as we get ready to go green. I think it will not be long until we see Owens back at least where he was and probably moving forward from there, only going down to 17th place with that 4-tire pit stop.
And, you know, that's a luxury that you really can't afford further back in the pack because you're not sure if you're going to beat the pace car. But he did the work. He got far enough up for it to be able to do that and not lose a lap.
Yeah, and you hope that those crew chiefs and that those spotters are telling their driver that David Owens has fresh ones, because that is something worth knowing as we get ready to go in the restart zone. And Medina, the second those 4 tires cross that restart zone, Dalton, he is gone. He is going early every time, and it doesn't matter if it's predictable. There's nothing these guys can do about it.
Yeah, you know, I think he's that might be just he's learning. I think he learned from those restarts where Kyle Lynott was able to pull alongside him. And he's saying, nope, never again. I'm getting that good jump that I need to make sure that I get into turn 1 clean and with no one to my side.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what he's doing, too. I think Kyle Lynott, while learning lessons for himself, taught Medina a couple lessons, too, especially what not to do for that 9 car on these restarts. And since then, he has done a fantastic job of controlling it. As you see David Owens on screen there behind the 54 of Jose Medina trying to work his way through this field with those fresh tires. He really is going to have to exercise patience here and not get greedy. It's so easy to get greedy with those fresh tires here at Martinsville, but it takes time to get through this field. You're not going to pass 2 cars on one corner. It's one at a time, nice and slow, and protect that 11 car.
You know, I think these guys are clued in. As looks like, I don't know who that was that just kind of let him by. I think these guys know he's on those fresh tires, and you know, if you see that in your a little bit of impact there from car coming back from pit road
69
and
is
back up the whole field. Nowhere to go. He is in the middle. He's in the hornet's nest.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and it gets into that.
Oh
Oh
no.
no, that was so bad.
Oh.
Oh God, poor Jared Kelly. What a. I mean, we move on, Dalton. That was not good. And I believe that's going to bring out the caution. Yes, it is. Jared Kelly, understandably not happy right now. You can tell by the language of that car right there. And I don't blame him. I would not be happy with what just happened.
Boy, if he wanted us to, we could call him up and see how he feels right now, huh? But unfortunately,
I'd love to do
I don't think he wants us to. So
he's gonna hang up on us.
Maybe we shouldn't. Yeah. I think that's gonna be the end of this broadcast if we try to force that.
It's gonna be like one of those times when in NASCAR they try to tell the driver and they're like, "You got us, Joe? You got us? You there? Hello?" And they can hear you the whole time. They just don't want to talk. As you see Jared Kelly falling around that 69 right there. I don't know what happened there. I saw him very, very much off the pace the corner before Dalton, and I saw him so low to where I thought Benton there was going to head into the pits. And I was really, really surprised to see him still on the track when they exited the corner, and even more surprised to see him in the middle of the track.
Yeah, it all kind of started when he got back out there and just got into I think it was 3 and 4. He got into just a little too hot on exit.
Uh-oh.
And sent one car up towards the wall out of the racing line, and then that checked up the whole rest of the pack behind him, and he had nowhere to go. Was just kind of stuck middle, and yeah, it's sometimes just kind of hard to figure out what to do in that situation when you're stuck there.
Yeah, and that could have really been a bad situation for drivers like the 11 of Owens and the 54 of Jose Medina, guys who have had speed today and were trying to kind of work their way through the field as they would with new tires. And that is, like we talked about, all the wrecks suddenly will happen in front of you. By the way, that 22 right there, is that Brenner or is that Jerry Rose? That Pennzoil car.
The Pennzoil, I believe that is Mr.
That
Jerry
is
Rose.
Jerry Rose running a 22 car when he's supposed to be 251. Wow. Shame on you, Jerry.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know your gripe is that he's driving a 22 car in the first place, but
It's really like
yeah,
a double whammy.
The fact that he's not running his number is also not.
Yeah, it's like a slap in the face beyond just not running your number. Like, of all the numbers to run, you chose the 22.
Medina take the outside?
Yeah, he did, and they go green. Medina does take the outside, and wow, I guess you can see why there, as he takes Brenner with him. That was Joey Stiers on the inside in second place as we went green. He immediately lost that second place position to Brenner. I wonder if there was any working together there between the 9 and the 22, or if Medina just wanted to switch it up on his 8th attempt here and make sure that he is not going to get caught surprise later in this race. Now is the time to experiment. Woo, 42 is Sarah, loose off the corner there, as David Owens almost making himself the meat in the sandwich there, trying to potentially go 3 wide.
Yeah, I think what might have happened there is, we saw Stiers come up towards the front for that damage check earlier. I think he and Medina might be in communication. And so he might have given Stiers that bottom line because Medina, he knew he would get the jump and be able to get clear of everyone, but was probably hoping that Stiers would be able to use that inside line advantage to get clear. But unfortunately, Brenner just with a great jump to slot himself into second, now threatening Medina for the lead here.
Yeah, Brenner read Medina like a book on that restart, and he is right there with him now. Medina not driving away like we've seen all race so far. So that 22 car, clearly the actual 22 car, having plenty of speed right now. We're going to have to keep Ryan Brenner. And wow, look at that mid-corner speed from Brenner. He closed the gap in the middle of the corner so beautifully there in the 9. Not the drive off he needed, but that 22 is wrapping those corners beautifully.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Watching that corner there, I think most of the time you're gonna want to wrap those corners, but Brenner kind of using at least all the track on exit, really bringing that thing out to the wall, getting all the acceleration he can out of this thing.
Yeah, Brenner driving in deep, and then, like you said, all the way to the wall on exit. I think trying to get that wheel straight to help his drive off. doing a really good job. I don't think this is a line that's going to be beneficial for the tires, but who cares when these cautions are stacking up the way they are. As Brenner trying to stay with the 9 of Medina. Medina starting to open up a little bit of a lead here as we're getting one of our longer runs of the day so far. Single file through the whole field right now as we're starting to calm down just a little bit.
And as you say that, David Owens just sent it in to take 7th place. And, oh, Lord, he coming.
Yep, he's back where he was before, just like we predicted. We said it wouldn't take long, and it certainly didn't. Now David Owens in 7th place where he was before, but the difference this time, far fresher tires, and fresher tires than every single car in front of him.
Yeah, you know, I tell you what, I got to wonder when, not if, when we get this next caution, if these guys are going to see the kind of speed that Owens has on these fresh tires, and if we might not see more of the field come in and take advantage of that.
Yeah, and we saw Zach Engel there miss that corner pretty substantially, all the way nearly up to the wall, through the corner, losing a couple spots there as Gilles Rose going to try to duck it into the 47 of Zach Engel and get that position. Zach Engel struggling right now to keep that 47 car on the bottom of the racetrack and wrap that corner. Really the best line around Martinsville here, especially when you don't have anyone to your side. You want to be as low through those corners as you can. There he is, getting it gathered back up.
Yeah, Zach, I don't know at this point if I'm at this point in the race with all the cautions we've had so far, I just want to run my laps. I want to get my rhythm going, and these guys, I think, finally able to do that because this is such a kind of rhythm-based track. You want to get that rhythm with the brakes, with the acceleration, and it's so hard to do that when the cautions keep coming out.
It really is, and you're heat cycling the tires constantly, and it doesn't make it any easier to drive, and it just makes it more and more difficult to find that rhythm. You really do need runs like this. As about a lap ago, we saw Sam Milliken also miss the corner, go pretty high up the racetrack, and what that allowed David Owens to do was claim that position. So David Owens now up to 6th place, knocking on the door of the top 5. As you see Benton there, still on the track. I saw him pretty high up there as he's going to go high again, try to stay out of the way. I believe that 69 probably has pretty significant damage at this point in the race.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Lynott and Owens probably teammates in some capacity, or at least in the same kind of voice here. So gotta wonder if Lynott might. I'd imagine he knows Owens' tire situation here, and if he gets to him, if he might just let him have this.
Good point. Lynott, one of those drivers that I like to call him like a very big picture driver. He really always is very aware of the situations. Oh my gosh, you see David Owens going way too deep and lock it up. Big sand, way too big. But Lynott, definitely, I agree with you. I think if we see Owens get a little bit closer, you're going to see Lynott not want to fight Owens. Because if he does fight Owens and gets stuck on that outside, then all of a sudden you can get passed by Milliken and it can open up a whole can of worms. You want to make these passes fast and effective, even when you're the one getting passed. So I expect Lynott as well to make this easy. You know him and Owens are chatting. But here we go as these two are going to start driving. Because at the same time, while they are friends and work well together,
runs wide, and
Brenner completely misses the corner. Wow. And we're seeing that happen more and more.
And that opened the door for Owens to get around Lynott there.
Spooked Lynott a little bit.
Brenner and Volpus, who I believe also kind of teammates with Owens.
And you know Owens knew that Brenner was going to be nervous the next time around going to that corner. So you saw Owens try to get as close as he could, knowing Brenner was going to be conservative there. I don't think it'll be long before Owens is able to make that pass. But David Owens up to the top 5 already, doing a great job on those fresh tires. Only thing I worry about for that 11 car, Dalton, is this is the longest run today by far. And I'd put my bank account on the fact that next caution, again, not if, when we get that next caution, I think everyone's going to want those fresh tires. And now Owens, it'll be interesting to see if he wants to take them then.
Okay, I think what also will be interesting to see is who doesn't take those tires, who maybe, because I think we see the top half of this field at least come in and take them, but some of those guys further back might say, I want to lead a lap. I want to lead a couple laps. I want the clean air out in front. I've been back here with the squirrels all day, so I'm going nuts. I want to lead a couple laps. I want the fresh air. See what that feels like.
I agree. I think clean air, of all tracks, I think clean air is so important at Martinsville and such a luxury to have. As also another car to keep our eye on here, Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the 33 was up front, but the 33 actually, Ferdiani actually going a lap down now, getting passed by Lanot. So Ferdiani not having the day that he wants in that best of the rest series right now, but nonetheless staying out there. And we've seen how much attrition is going to come into play today. So I don't blame him for wanting to stay out here. As now you see Dennis Puckett with a little bit of damage. He might be getting a lap soon, as you see Owen starting to close in on him. A lot. Oh, is Puckett all the way to the wall? Sends it in, and then around he goes right in front of David Owens.
No.
Around goes Puckett, and a little bit of a self spin and toe,
Oh.
and that's going to be it for the 12, I believe.
You know, I think he saw those guys getting bigger in the rear view. Thought, you know, here, let me help you. Let me give you the room. And I don't know if he just locked it up or if he got up on that top part. Yes, here comes everybody.
Yep, just like we predicted. Just like we predicted, Dalton. Here comes the whole field, and I believe Owens is. Yep, he's going to follow them in. So 11 car is going to have one less set of tires than everybody else, but who knows if that's going to come into play later on in this race. We're already about 75 laps completed out of 175, and a lot of them have been run under caution. I'm assuming a big chunk still will be, as you see the 3 Mandela coming around to get that wave around and get his lap back. But the whole field now going to be on fresh tires for the first time today, and that's going to put on a show. Oh, Ricky's going to stay out. I'm sorry, that is not a wave around. That is staying out. Ricky Mandela Sr. is going to inherit the lead of this race, Dalton. Oh boy, that can't go wrong.
Hey, I told you it was going to be about who makes that decision, who says, you know, I've been back here all day. I want to lead a lap. I want to see what it's like out here up front. And Mandela having the cojones to stare down this whole field on fresh tires in his rearview mirror.
Yep.
For this restart, I don't envy it.
Yep, and you know when Volpus came around that corner, you just went, "Oh, you're kidding me." But hey, he has every right to do that, and it's going to be fun to watch. And also to be noted, that 9 car Medina did not have a good pit stop. He is all the way back in 6th place. Yeah, 6th place now for the 9 Medina from 1st to 6th there, losing spots to Volpus, Lanot, Brenner, and Stiers.
You know, I'll tell you what. I'm backed out in this this wide blimp view so I can see the whole track. And
Me too.
I can almost, man. So we need some different colors next season because a lot of these cars look the same from this angle. I wasn't sure. I was like, wait, which one's Medina? But okay, no, I see him now.
Yeah, these guys know other colors besides black and red exist, right? They do not. Yeah, our producer says no, they do not. And then I think he's onto something. We're gonna have to show these guys a color wheel one day. As for the first time today, we're gonna see a different control car as we get ready to go green. It's gonna be the 3 of Ricky Mandela. Watch that tire spin, Ricky, as we get ready. And Volpus on the outside, our guy who's controlled this race all the way in 6th place now, as Mandela. Oh God, does not go. Volpus with a great restart, but I think Volpus crossed the line before Mandela did. We'll have to see what iracing has to say about that.
I don't think that's going to matter if the green flag was out. I think he has every right to do that as long as, you know, with these updated restart rules. Oh boy, I think that's is that Jerry? Is that Jerry Rose?
It may have been. I think I saw Sarah around as well, but it looks like we're going to stay green as it was just a little bit of a spin out. It was Sarah, but we are going to stay green as he is now going to have to catch the field as Serwick goes high. Owens gets around him. Owens starting to make his progress through this field. Mandela trying to hold on for everything he has here, doing the best he can. Back in the lead, actually. What happened to Joe Volpus now in 4th place? Volpus was in the lead. So Mandela now going to inherit the lead and have a nice little gap there in front of the 23 of Joey Stiers.
Well, I tell you, it's the clean air. You get out in that clean air, get that. Well, now the field's getting back to him, but yeah, nice to see him lead more than one lap on this strategy. We'll see how long he can hold back the wolves.
Yeah, but I feel like this is teaching this field a lesson about, I guess, how much tires don't matter, right? Like if you're Ricky Mandela right now, if I'm Joey Stiers, I'm thinking I'm taking 2 at least next time I come back in if I need the track position, because this is working well as Mandela is gonna give up the lead there. But yeah, I'm curious of like one of the faster cars. Not that Mandela hasn't been fast. He has had speed, but I'm talking one of the guys who are running the top 3, Stiers, Brenner, Volpus, or Medina or Lanot. I love to see what those guys could do on older tires now, as that was a good experiment there from Mandela, and I definitely think it's going to end up being a net positive for him.
As you see right now, Brenner knocking on the door too. But
Mandela doing a great job rolling the middle of the corner, keeping these cars behind him. But yeah, you can really see it kind of on entry where these cars can go a little bit deeper than that 3 can with fresher tires, a little more life in them. But that doesn't change the fact that Mandela is still in second place right now, driving away from Brenner a little bit. Really, I mean, we talked so much about momentum here. He has a great groove going right now in that 3 car, doing the same thing every lap.
Yeah, and you know, I kind of keyed into Brenner there just to see what he was doing, and it kind of looked like he was a little, I want to say a little too aggressive on the throttle there in the middle of 3 and 4, and had to back out of it a little bit to avoid hitting the wall. So we'll see if he can get back to him here. Is now that whole field of cars is coming up on him here. As you see Medina trying to make a pass on Lynott.
Yeah, there he goes. Medina to the inside of Kyle Lynott, doing a great job working his way through the field after not getting the pit stop that he needed to maintain control of this race and now having to fight back a little bit. You also saw Jerry Rose on your screen not too long ago getting passed by David Owens. Rose a little bit off the pace, I think, maybe a little bit older tires in the cars in front of him, behind him, I'm sorry. But Gerald Rose, nonetheless, doing a great job of keeping certain cars behind him. Here's Owens on our screen now with the 57 right there in front of him of Tommy Fox, working there in the for the top 10, as Owens is going to peek to the inside of Fox really high there from the 57, and that should be all Owens needs to complete the pass. There he goes. And look at those brake rotors start to glow up, Dalton.
Wow, as it looks like we're set for another nice long run here. And you see Steyer's just absolutely gapping the field right now, with Mandela kind of keeping these guys in check on these older tires.
Yeah, Steyer's with a massive 2.5 second lead, which is at Martinsville is about 15% of the lap. So that is a huge lead there. Mandela maintaining second place. Medina was able to make the pass on Joe Volpes and get himself to fourth. Now trying to work on David Brenner. Medina doing a really good job getting through this field quickly as Brenner misses exit just a little bit there, and that allows the 9 to get a run and poke it to the inside here. This should be a relatively easy pass for Medina, and it is. Third place, David Medina.
And, you know, that's
David Medina also the first car on new tires now behind Joey Steyer. So if he can make work of Mandela, let's see how quickly or if he can start to make work on what is now a 3.5 second lead.
And it's almost comical to look at, just seeing, you know, you see Steyer's and then there's everybody else, as now Medina finally able to open that door to get some cars around Mandela here.
There was only one. Mandela able to hold on to third place, but yeah, Medina made that pass quick. He made it look easy. And now let's keep our eye on that lead. Joey Steyer is currently with a 3.5 second lead over Medina. Let's see if that stays consistent or starts to dwindle down, as the car who has really controlled this race now has some clean air in front of him and can focus just on that 23.
Yeah, you know, I think Mandela, he let Steyer's forget that there were even cars behind him for a little while. You can call that the Mandela effect.
I knew you were going to hit it eventually. Very, very good.
Yeah, I had to reach for that one.
Oh, it was good. It was good. A lot of good recoveries happening right now as well. I'm seeing Kevin Kyle, who's been to hell and back today, up to 9th place in the top 10 with David Owens there behind us. So Kevin Kyle doing a great job trying to get himself into that championship race and really never saying die as he gets loose on exit or on entrance there and all the way up the track. And that's going to force him to give that spot to Owens, and it looks like Kelly as well, as they're both going to get around the 31 at Kyle. I apologize. Kevin Kyle, I forgot, bowing out, not fighting for a championship spot, but nonetheless wanting a really good run today. If anything, just to give that beautiful race car a spot in victory lane. But Kevin Kyle really, really fighting back today and doing a good job, as look at this train, this line that is forming behind the 3 car. It is getting pretty long, Dalton.
You got to wonder when that patience is going to run out, as you see guys now kind of starting to try to fight their way through this kind of mess that's started behind Mandela here.
Yeah, it really is starting to create more situations and opportunities for guys behind Mandela as well. As you see Owens trying to get around the 17 of Milliken, Lynott below the 17 of Milliken right there, fighting for the 6th spot. But it really is opening up a lot of opportunities, having that 3 car kind of parked up in front of these guys and opening up gaps, as you see.
There. Oh,
wow.
3 wide.
3 wide at Martinsville. They've thought about it, as Volpus went a little bit high on exit there. And only 70 to go, Dalton. This is a long, long race.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at that I was looking at that lap counter during that last caution and almost couldn't believe that we weren't halfway. We are halfway now.
No,
but,
Jared Kelly around for the 100th time
no.
today. Into Steve Neal, the playoff driver. Oh, an innocent bystander is Steve Neal. Looks like Kevin Kyle involved as well. Jared Kelly getting loose on exit there, and we are under caution. Jared Kelly says he was forced to get loose, which leads me to believe that someone touched him in a no-no spot, which that 55 has been violated all day today.
Well, you know, it happens.
Stiers brings it down. Stiers is going to bring it down. It looks like Medina is as well.
You know what? I think at this point, oh my goodness, I just I just saw the 69 make just the most diabolical pit road bailout I think I've ever seen. He went over the humps there to stay off pit road.
Oh, that's going to black flag Kyle and not. Oh. I'm sure that's going to be a passing under yellow black for the 988. I'm sure that's going to put Kyle in a wonderful mood.
Man, yeah, and he's letting them hear it.
Yep. You know who was probably really excited to see a bunch of cars come down with him, Dalton? Was Ricky Mandela. I was expecting Mandela to have to come in alone. I didn't think he was going to want to keep those tires on. Mission accomplished, right? But he did not lose very much track position, and now he's on the same level as everybody else around him with 4 tires. Not to mention, some cars did stay out. I believe I saw Volpus stay out. I think Milliken stayed out. Jose Medina, Skirwick. So a good amount of cars staying out.
That whole top 5, I think. I think except for the lap cars are starting to let those guys by, so we'll have a clearer picture of kind of where everybody's at as far as that goes. But yeah, I think these guys up front, I think they've been enticed by that long green flag run. I think might have been the longest one we had today, and I think maybe expecting more long green flag runs, maybe even expecting this thing to go green till the end, and not wanting to be caught out there with a tire disadvantage to the end of this thing.
I do think that is the mentality that these guys had. Longest run of the day by far, and maybe thinking, well, if that happens again and I have older tires, there's no way I'm going to be able to keep my track position. So you got to use them. I mean, guys like Medina did have an extra set compared to somebody like Owens. I think Owens pit, which tells me he's out of tires now. So Owen's going to have to make that set last 65 laps, as Volpus is going to lead them to green. Sam Milliken way too far behind in second place. Horrible, horrible organization there in the restart, as Joe Volpus launches away with real no second place car there at all. And look at Stiers split the middle and go 3 wide. Oh, and Medina gets into him. Look at these guys go. They're done waiting, as now Owens is going to split the middle and go 3 wide and get a bunch of positions.
Goodness.
These guys are going for it.
How are we still green?
I can't believe it. This is some great racing. The best we've seen all day for sure. Great moves from Medina, Stiers, and Owens there to get quick positions and get in front of their opponents. These 3 putting themselves in position to win this race with those moves there. As now you see Medina probably doing what he thinks maybe the move for the win, going around Stires on the outside. And there goes Milliken around Medina on the outside as well for second place. Great job on the outside there from the 17 of Milliken, really trying to make that work as him and Medina get together. And Medina's going to go around into the wall.
No. Oh.
Field doing a good job of staying off that 54 car. I doubt Medina happy with Milliken there, but I'm going to call that one a racing incident, kind of just coming together, going for the same real estate, and that so often happens here at Martinsville.
Yeah, it's really easy to do, especially coming off the corner on the inside. You're using a little bit more wheel than you're used to, and if you get on that throttle a little bit too much when you're down on that inside line, and you're putting too much wheel into it, that's just a recipe for that to happen.
And it's so easy to do, right, when you're battling somebody. That's really when you kind of lose track of your steering input and your throttle aggressiveness, right? That happens to me all the time. You do the same thing over and over again. What are we at? We're in lap probably 115 right now. Do the same thing for 115 laps. Then all of a sudden you're battling for a very important spot. That was second place that Jose Medina was battling for. And everything that you've learned all day kind of goes out the window, doesn't it? And all you want to do is get that position.
Yeah, I think you look at that car on your outside and you see that you're gaining. You see that you're getting along the door, and you're like, yo, yeah, the car, it's turning, and then it keeps turning and it keeps turning, and now you're
exactly, and it's already gone.
Yep.
And once that's happened, it's already too late, buddy. As Jared Kelly looks like he's going to take the wave around and showboat his way to one last lap down. We'll see how many more times that 55 can look the wrong way today, as he has had a rough day. And we look up towards the front of our field, and this has definitely been the most mixed up we've seen all day, and it's pretty exciting. We saw Medina do a great job working through the field there. He's got himself up to third place with that spin of Jose Medina now in the back of the field. Oh no, actually getting damage repaired and going a lap down. That's so unfortunate for the 54. Doing a great job today and really earned that track position, but Jose Medina, another victim of Martinsville. But yeah, we have a whole new cast of characters up front, and above that, Dalton, we have a very mixed bag of tire strategy here, with first place staying out, second place staying out, third place having freshies, fourth place being a stay out car, and then fifth and sixth having freshies. So a lot of mixed bags here.
I actually, and I won't make him mic up here, but Jared, just relay to us. Scale of 1 to 10. How much fun are you having?
He didn't even answer.
I'm gonna say that's a 0 out of 10.
So that's a 0.
I don't know. At this stage of the race, probably not very much fun.
I mean, pacing isn't that much fun.
Okay, we'll leave it at like a 3.
Yeah, a soft 3. That's what Montana would say. It's a soft 3. As here goes Vulpes leading them around. We saw Milliken really struggle in that last restart. Much better job that time. Milliken side by side with Vulpes. Got a little bit of a premature bump there from the 31 of Kevin Kyle and kind of upset that 17 and didn't allow him to get the jump he wanted to, but still a much better restart than we saw last time. As Milliken and Medina are going to battle now for second place, as you see Owens trying to make a move on the inside of Kevin Kyle, trying to make a move for the top 5.
So you want to talk about bumps? Medina gave a really good shove to Vulpes to push him through, as now he within a lap.
Oh, and Tommy Fox turns Skerwick. Just turns him. And I think that's going to be a yellow. Ugh, that's an annoying little iracing yellow there. Skerwick's going to have to try to control his temper here, but that was not good by Tommy Fox. Just drove right through that 520 like he wasn't there. These guys, you think, I mean, I'm not criticizing Tommy Fox or anyone in particular, but gosh, dude, you'd think they would have kind of gotten the vibe by now, right?
Well, it's like I said, you get around here, do all this pacing, you just kind of lose patience and you lose focus at a certain point, and just that's when mistakes are going to happen.
Yep. As we see a few cars bring it down, Milliken and the 17 and the 31 and Kevin Kyle, Mighty Ducks VRN car. Gonna bring it down. Speaking of VRN, Jared, what do we want to talk about today, right now under this caution? Let's talk about, we can talk about the stream again. Don't forget, guys, we'll be watching Darlington after this, another old track in the NASCAR Cup Series, and we will be dressed up in our best throwback gear, enjoying some throwback racing, and also just a side note to Bubba Wallace and Chase Elliott. Did you hear what they said about Throwback Weekend? Yeah, they said it's run its course and that we shouldn't do it anymore. It hasn't ran its course. I'm a sucker for it. I love it.
I think the Xfinity series can keep doing it because they actually do it, and they actually have the numbers on the door, so like they can actually make it look like the car that it's supposed to be. Yeah.
I think Chase Elliott's also just a little bit bitter because that car is ugly as sin. But go and scan that QR code. It's on the bottom right of your screen right there. That will take you to the VRN YouTube channel. Subscribe to us. Be entered to win in that giveaway of a bunch of awesome NASCAR gear. And come watch the Darlington race with us after this. We'll be hanging out in there, and we're having a great time. Super, super excited. And I know Buddy Sully will be excited to be distracting himself from the weather he's dealing with over there in his part of the country. And if any of you guys are there too, please be staying safe. We know we got some pretty extreme weather around the country right now. But yeah, very, very excited to watch that race today. And always a good time at Darlington. Iconic racetrack, as difficult as it gets, and really asks the most out of these guys. Just like Martinsville is right now, asking everything out of these guys. I've lost track of cautions. I don't care to count how many there's been. More than 12, I'd say, Dalton. Too many. As David Medina is going to inherit control of this race. He's going to be on the inside, and he's going to be our control car again. Did not take David Medina long to get back up front here, but Vulpes on his outside, a hungry car, but on older tires. As what a launch by the 9 of Medina, as Steyer is also going to go with Medina and try to take that second place away from Vulpes on those older tires.
Again, how many times have we said that today? What a launch by Medina. Yep. He's already clear, already got a few car lengths on these cars behind him. But Steyer's not giving up that easy, holding tight.
Yeah, and right behind there, you got David Owens. Here he is. First time we've seen him up front all day. He is in third place now, doing a great job. He never gave up. He's been a lap down. His equipment's failed, and here he is with a shot to win this race, and certainly a shot to race for a BRL championship. So great job from the 11 of Owens to just be so resilient today. Doing just, and we got a car around 47. Oh. Was that what I just... Did it?
That was
that what I thought it was?
I don't think so.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. That was even Zach. That was Tommy Fox. That wasn't even Zach. I get that 57, that 47 mixed up sometimes. I apologize for that. Cool. So Matthew Skirwick, maybe just letting out some frustration there on that 47, bringing some around in the front stretch. Luckily, the 47 of Zach Engel not hitting anything there. Still going to keep that car entirely healthy, but our brains are not, Dalton. Another freaking caution.
Maybe it's like a curse, it's like the It Follows curse, and so we're kind of clear. So maybe we need to be watching out on this next run for Zach Engel to get into somebody here and just try to pass that on to somebody else,
I agree, and it should probably be a triple-digit car to keep it consistent. So Jerry Rose, keep your head in a swivel, my friend.
What's not a triple-digit car? That's a
shut up.
22 car,
It's a second 22. It's the 222. It looks like Jerry Rose is going to go around. I'm sorry. Jared Kelly is going to go around and, I believe, collect another lap back. Lucky dog this time around, and he is in a rush to get that lap back. Hauling ass around the track. Got to keep the croissant hot. Good point. Got that cheddar scheme there.
And speaking of, speaking of losing laps, I think... Not on this green flag run, but on the last one, I saw Kyle Onat dip down pit road to serve that penalty, which I thought they might clear that, but I guess
I thought so too.
Had to come in and serve that penalty. So now probably a couple laps down at this point.
Yeah, Kyle Onat 2 laps down. Ugh. As you see, Jared Kelly, he will now be in the lead lap in that Cheddar's car. And if Jared Kelly wins this race, order a number 55 at Cheddar's and get free croutons with your order.
It's just croutons.
Just croutons. It's the Jared Kelly special.
They say if you order the 55, they're like, all right, open up. And they just throw them in your mouth.
Exactly. They chuck them hard. It hurts, but
yeah.
It was Jared Kelly's idea. As you see Jose Medina, extremely aggressive pit entry right behind him in the 54. Man, that car is beautiful. And it was more beautiful earlier in the race, but it's still beautiful nonetheless. All right, Dalton, here we go again. We are double file. We got David Owens here in third place now. Best starting position for him yet in this race, but up front, David Medina and Joey Steyers, the class of the field all day. These two race cars have been so fast. And Ricky Mandela, hats off to him. Can't say enough about the rookie. Doing a great job in 6th place, maintaining that track position after that strategy.
Yeah, I told you we should keep an eye on him as we're going green here. Once again, beautiful jump by Medina.
Gone.
As he's already clear into turn 1. And it looks like the strategy they were going for on that one restart earlier in the race finally works out as Steyers is able to use that bottom line to get clear and keep 2nd place.
The 3 of Mandela, very off the pace. Very, very off the pace. He exited 2 and didn't have any speed underneath that car. Here he goes, getting gathered back up. Not sure what went wrong for Mandela there, but that was a big moment for that 3. He exit. Oh, and Kevin Kyle sends around the 17 to Milliken, and no one checks up. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What is going on, boys?
Jerry Rose not happy.
I did talk about Jerry Rose. That was the commentator's curse, Jerry. You could blame me for that one later. I'm sorry, buddy. Jerry Rose collecting some damage after the fact. Nothing like getting damage under caution. I know that all too well. Oh, boy. These boys aren't even safe under caution, Dalton.
I heard one word from the race chat from one word that I can say on air without upsetting the children, and that word was bruh. So I'm not I unfortunately didn't see exactly what happened, but nothing good. Nothing good.
I thought it was gonna be a word that Kurt Busch spelled for us about a decade ago. Joke. As Milliken gonna bring it down after that contact. He got pile driven after that wreck. Definitely collecting a lot of damage after that. Man,
and that's
Martinsville,
Dalton down too. I think
it will. It will.
They're just kind of, I guess, accepting it. Yeah,
he'll get it back.
That, yeah, they'll definitely.
He'll be fine.
Like,
I'd do it too.
Angle coming off a pit road. Jerry Rose coming off.
I would not be afraid to go a lap down in this race. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll go on my soapbox for a second, Dalton. I don't know what it's going to take for leagues to realize that this track just is not. It doesn't race great. I've only seen a handful of great races at this track that aren't just like this. And I mean, to be fair too, BRL is one of the best and cleanest leagues I've ever seen. I mean, my first race here this season was at Vegas, and we got to watch zero cautions come out at a very, very difficult track with a lot of close racing. So I'm not going to put the blame on BRL, Dalton. I'm really not. This track is just, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it's just the way this, and not knocking the iRacing devs or anything like that, but it's just the way that netcode is and the way that these cars can't really take contact the way that they do in real life. That you see a lot of beating and banging in real life, but you just can't really do that here. And
it's so true.
Yeah.
Last week we were seeing them literally eat each other up every corner, bang every corner, and nothing happened. Just not the case here. Steyers doesn't go. Steyers doesn't go at all. Oh no! And that just creates a huge checkup, and that's going to take out a lot of cars.
Oh my lord!
God, the lack of checkups, boys. Come on. But Skirwick abused there. The 42 of Sarah destroyed. The 69 coming piling in again. Freddie Annie getting damaged. What a mess, and that all started from Steyers. It looked like to me, Dalton, really, really spinning the tires. Like, that car just did not go.
Either spun the tires or missed a shift. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
like
sure.
went to first, missed the shift, right? Like that thing bought. Like that was a wild miss. You are right though. If he missed a shift, he missed one by going down because that thing was flip flopping every which way like the fish that it's designed after.
No, we'd know if that was a downshift because that thing would have been
That's true. We'd see smoke from
firmly planted on the inside wall.
it. Good point. But yeah, that thing really became its paint scheme there, as it was flopping all around the racetrack. But Stiers, well, he had his Urkel moment there, looking in the rearview mirror and saying, "Did I do that?"
Ouch. Well, hey,
Yeah.
you know, I'm glad we're getting these throwback references in
Hey.
on Throwback Weekend. So.
Oh, and Stiers is going to bring it down the pits, Dalton.
Something might have gone wrong there. Either that, or he's just seeing an opportunity to. I'm not even sure how old these tires are.
Not that.
That much of an advantage. See what the plan is here.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked to see this. I believe if he's able to keep himself in the lead lap here, so if it's just tires, he will come out somewhere around 15th, 16th. So it's just going to be 4 tires. So Joey Stiers taking a little bit of a gamble here. I don't hate it at all. Maybe it was that tire spin, Dalton, and that spooked him and made him think, you know what? Let me get these things off the car.
You know, why not? I guess.
I'm a little surprised too, though. I agree.
In the race with going on 30, just a little over 30 laps left in this thing.
Yeah, so that's at least 4 green flag laps. Maybe 5. So Stiers is going to have to make quick work of this group, of this field. He's going to have to be aggressive. But I don't hate that from the 23, as there he is lining up next to Zach Engel. Not too far behind our leader, giving himself a chance to win this race. And like you said, Dalton,
yeah. It's the wave
33 to go.
Around. Are they going to get there in time? Or are they going to...
Such a big racetrack. As I'm not even going to comment anymore, because we know what Medina's going to do, but wow. As Brenner, though, with a great launch, going to try to get the inside of Vulpes here. Vulpes still making those old tires work the best they can. These short runs really benefiting that 07 car, but getting eaten up a little bit on that restart, losing 2 positions, as David Owens is going to take 3rd place from Joe Vulpes there.
Yeah, you know, Vulpes came into this race in probably the best, I mean, not probably, the best kind of point situation. First place in the points. This is, you know, just really kind of having the day that he needs to have. Doesn't need the win, would probably like the win, but yeah, just having the day that he needed to have.
I think especially with what this thing looked like with about 15 laps in this race, with that car parked on the wall and David Owens going a lap down and having to tow and almost accidentally killing the entire field, I think David Owens is thrilled to be where he is right now with great recovery. As you see Jared Kelly actually exiting the pits right there, re-entering right behind the 23 of Stiers. Stiers is being very aggressive right now, Dalton. I've had my eye on that 23 since we've gone green, and he has been ultra aggressive getting through this field, doing a good job. He knows that time is not on his side right now. He needs to go fast, and we've seen how quick these leads have gotten substantial on these runs.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's like we said at the start of this race, he won the last time out. Of course, that was going on 2 years ago. But, you know, maybe he does know something that we don't around this track.
As Jared Kelly oversends it and misses the corner entirely, and that's going to allow Lynott to get around him. Jared Kelly struggling to get that 55 below him right now. As and that is the lucky dog battle right there between Lynott and Kelly. So that, while that is 2 lap down cars, that is a very valuable position and a very important position. As we've seen all day, that caution come out at any moment, and so you want to be in front of the car a lap down next to you. So Jared Kelly's going to really, really want to try to make quick work of Lynott and get that spot back. If not, that's going to give Lynott a chance to win this race if we do get that caution. As Joey Stiers now close to Ricky Mandela, working through the field, almost up to the top 5 already, has already passed Neil, got past Tommy Fox, and it has a great run off the corner. Joey Stiers doing a great job.
Absolutely, but you see those top 4 cars kind of pulling away here as Owens now sending
Owens
it in
to the bottom,
Brenner
yeah,
for second.
Owens got a beautiful run out of 4, allowed him to get the inside of Brenner. Brenner not going to fight his teammate too hard, going to give the spot to David Owens. And David Owens, what a recovery. Never say die, the 11 car. This guy is doing a fantastic job. And now here he is in second place. David Owens probably doing some math in his head right now, thinking, do I need this win to make the playoffs, or am I good here?
Yeah, you know, and not that I don't think that David Owens is perfectly capable of making that pass, but you got to wonder if those guys are teammates, if there was like sometimes you hear in F1 that if there was that all right, swap. Well, because yeah, it looks like Owens definitely has the faster car here, and
Also,
it's going to be more of a threat to Medina.
Exactly. If I'm David Brenner and I'm seeing all that speed in that 11 car and I'm watching that 9 drive away from me, I'm going to go tell the 11, you go for it, buddy. You try. And then if you guys make some contact, which we've seen happen all day between everyone in the field, then that's going to be perfect for Brenner. I would do that same thing if I was David Brenner. He just has to make sure to keep that 07 behind him. Joe Vulpes doing a phenomenal job on old tires, really holding on, showing so much speed. But Brenner just has to make sure his Vulpes, wow, oversends that corner. Almost gets into Brenner. That probably, Brenner's going to need some new pants after that one. But that's all he has to do is stay there, Dalton, and this win is not out of reach for that 22 yet, as you see Skirwick bring it down the pits as well.
Looks like... Are they
And caution's out, and oh no! Playoff driver,
Oh,
Steve Neal. Oh no, Steve Neal has had such a clean race today. He's done such a good job. He's going to stay in the lead lap today, but that's going to kill his track position. That is heartbreaking for that 45.
And you know what? Something I was just going to mention about that front group that might be even more of put Brenner in an even better situation is it's been very beneficial to start in third rather than on that outside pole today. So maybe that gives him a better shot here on this restart to make something happen.
You're so right about that. And Brenner has been fantastic on the restarts. But like you said, oftentimes, far more often than not, we've seen that third place car come out with second place out of 2. As Kyle Lynott is going to end up with the lucky dog around he goes to take that to go around the pace car. So Kyle Lynott, that 988 had a hell of a lot of speed to start this race. Some misfortune and some annoying stuff causing him to go laps down. Now Lynott going to have a chance at this one. He doesn't have a lot of time, but I'm excited to see what that 988 can do. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Dalton. I'm curious to see what Brenner goes for here. I mean, that's still a teammate in the 11. I doubt Medina is going to want to let that 11 and 22 line up together. So I assume Medina will take the inside on this restart.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see inside or outside for the leader here. Because that's a tough decision. You know, you have 2 really strong cars behind you. It's really just kind of pick your poison at that point.
Yeah, really 3. I mean, man, like I honestly, I guess track position is king, and Joe Vulpes with that win last week really does just need a 4th or 5th place, and he'll be racing for a championship next weekend. But I'm a little surprised to not see him take tires because, man, that 07 is a rocket ship. He's in 4th place on far older tires than the guys around him, and he's doing such a good job. That would really pique my curiosity if I'm Vulpes to thinking, wow, man, if I have fresher tires than these guys, which he could, I might be able to beat them. But Vulpes also points racing out here, and I don't blame him.
You know what? We're also at the point, we're under 20 to go, where you're kind of out of time to work through the field on the fresh tires. And we've seen that it takes a while to get through all these cars, especially if you're going to be kind of the only one making that move. So you really kind of, at least if you're up front, I think you're kind of stuck with what you're on at this point.
I think so too, and we've seen most of the issues happen towards the middle of the field, so I can also understand not wanting to be around the squirrels like we always call them. As we get ready for another restart, expect Medina to go early. He does. Early in the restart zone. Great jump by Owens as well, and Brenner, as expected, doing a good job, but Owens good enough there, I think, to maintain second place. He's going to try to close the gap. Medina does a bad job through 1 and 2. This is going to be Owens' moment. He did not wrap the corner the way he needed to.
It looks like taking the page out of Lynot's book now, trying to take it on the high side here. We'll see if he has better luck than Lynott did earlier in this race.
Owens is going to have to drive it in deep here and do everything he can to try to stay to the outside of that 9 car and not give him the exit that he wants. David Owens doing a fantastic job so far. Man, that was the first sign of weakness we've seen from David Medina all day, and it couldn't have came at a worse time.
You can see a little further back, Steyer's knocking on the door. Gabe Brenner, quite a big bump there into turn 3, as I think he's still the one on the freshest tires here, trying to make his way through.
Yes, he is. Joey Steyer still has that advantage, but he needs to go quick as Owens is just about 1 corner away from being able to clear that 9. He is so close. And there it is. David Owens to the lead. This guy was a lap down not too long ago, and he has fought back from the back of the field. And here he is in the lead, and he just needs that steering wheel to hold on for 14 laps. No more equipment failures, as he has a pack of wild fish behind him in that 23 of Steyrs. And you know Medina not satisfied at second place. Here we go. Can Owens hold on? 13 to go.
Yeah, we've seen this guy go from the back to the front multiple times today, I think. Just whether on tires or just trying to make up for just lost ground, but finally found his way out into clean air. Gotta wonder if anybody's gonna have anything for him here in these last 10 or so laps.
And if there could ever be a long run in this race, you know David Owens wants it now. He wants to keep this thing simple. Only 12 to go. He'd love for those 12 laps to be all green flag laps, not wanting to have to line up with another restart with Dave Medina and Joey Steyrs now up to third place on fresher tires than him. So Owens praying that these guys can keep it clean as we see Chris Smith and Jared Kelly going out of there, and Kyle Lynott starting to make his way through the field. Our lucky dog back in the lead lap.
You know what? Owens doing what he needs to do. Trying to come out and get this win, but I'm just not sure, looking at the days that these other playoff drivers are having, if it's gonna be enough.
I don't know either, Dalton.
Next round.
You're 100% right. You have Medina in second place. You have Brenner in fourth. Yellow is out. Chris Smith around, and we are going to have a shootout to decide the winner of this race. But you're right, Dalton. Jared, can you pull up the points going in real quick? We can try to do some bad math, or at least give ourselves an idea here. So let's take a look as we're under caution for the 100th time today. Okay, so Vulpes currently running, I believe, in 5th. He's going to make the championship 4 if he can stay there. Dave Medina is running in 2nd. He's going to make the championship 4. And here's where it gets really, really close, Dalton. So you have Kyle Lynott, and he did a phenomenal job after that restart there. He is already up to 8th place, and I'd expect him to get more positions now that we're going to bunch this thing back up. David Brenner currently running in 5th place, I believe. 4th place, I'm sorry. David Brenner running in 4th. That's going to be really, really close too, Dalton. And then Steve Neal, we saw him run some misfortune, but he also is doing a good job of recovering. We'll see how crazy this gets at the end if Steve Neal can get enough points to move himself on. And then we have Chris Moreland not here today, and there's David Owens with 18. I'm going to take out the 3-0. So he needs 12 over Brenner. Oh man, Dalton, I don't think it's enough.
He's, and that's the thing. You get down to these late stages of the race too, and with this already small field size, I just don't know if there's enough points for these guys to lose to give him that spot.
I completely agree, and oh god, how heartbreaking is that? I mean, it never hurts to get a trophy, but man, if there was ever a such thing as a bad win, this would be it for David Owens. Still, again, a win's a win. I'd be thrilled to take home a trophy in this league around these great drivers, especially at this crazy track. But man, to do that and not make the championship is gonna sting for the 11 car if that is what happens. I mean, all it's going to take, though, is a spin from Lynott, something happening in front of Lynott. Maybe something happened to David Brenner. It's not over yet for Owens, and the only thing he can do is exactly what he's doing. Lead this race, take home the trophy, and let the cards fall where they do, as it looks like he's going to take the outside on this restart.
The
fat lady is behind
him. Fat lady's not singing, but she's definitely doing her warm-ups in the dressing room.
She absolutely is. It's only going to be 5 to go as we go green, Dalton, and I would not be surprised for that to be it, as these guys are going to be, I think, a little bit, while aggressive, I think careful around each other. Everyone, I'm assuming, pretty happy with their track position. Not going to want to give it up now after 170 laps of fighting so hard as we get ready to line it up to go green. David Owens, the control car on the outside, David Medina on the inside in 2nd place. His teammate behind him of Owens, and oh my goodness, a lot of hits there, a lot of front-end damage for pretty much every car involved. I saw so much contact there, but here goes Owens and Medina. Owens really waiting to the absolute last second to get going there.
This is going to be a heck of a run to the finish. Medina holding tight on the inside. Owens trying to get clear. It looks like Steyrs clear for 3rd.
So let's see if that 23 can make quick work of the 9 and give himself a chance at the 11 and make good use of those tires. He needs to go fast, as Owens is already doing a great job gapping the 9, putting about 5 car lengths between those 2 cars. This thing getting close to over, as it's going to be 3 to go when they cross the line here.
It's been a long race. You see the lights finally on around the track. Oh, car on the wall. No
I believe that was
yellow.
Stephen Neal. That is Stephen Neal going for it, trying to make the playoffs, hitting the wall hard there. We're going to stay green, like you said. And yeah, you're right. Lights are on. It's been a long day here in Martinsville, but it's only going to be 2 to go here for David Owens. All he has to do is get to that white flag, and the next flag will end it. And I'm sure that no one has wanted to see the white flag as bad as David Owens does right now. As Lynott looks to the inside of Brenner, that could be a playoff spot. That could be a very, very important spot there. These guys need to go for every position they can right there, as Lynott sends it in deep and gets past Brenner. And now David Owens is going to take the white flag and try to finish off one of the best recoveries we've ever seen.
Just an insane run today by Owens, as we'll see if Medina has anything for him here going into 3.
David Medina, forever the classiest driver, and not going to do a little dive on there. And it's going to be the NOS Energy 11 car of David Owens, who's going to win at Martinsville. And Steve Neal does his best Ross Chastain impression to try to make the Final Four, and it's not going to work. You gotta love it from Steve Neal. But what a job from Owens. We'll have to see how that works out in the points. I don't want to speculate right now. We have Medina in 2nd, Styres in 3rd, Volpis playoff car in 4th, Lynott playoff car in 5th, and Brenner playoff car in 6th. These guys did what they had to do to control their destiny, and now we'll just wait for the points to slip in. But that's not going to change the good mood that David Owens is going to be in right now. He's taking home a trophy. He's taking home a clock.
Yeah, I want to see how these burnouts are going to go. This is a this is a very narrow track. See if he avoids it. Wow,
better than me at Chicago.
Yeah. Some Class A burnouts.
Yep. I wasn't proud of my Chicago ones, Dalton, and look at Owens go. What a drive from that 11. Great job from David Owens to collect that win today. And do we have the Final Four available to us? Drum roll, please, if we do. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, and it wasn't enough, Dalton. Racing for a championship in the BRL next Sunday will be Dave Medina, Joseph Volpis, Kyle Lynott, and David Brenner.
It was an act of the technological gods, I guess, that's just been plaguing Owens. And he's like you said, he's got to be happy with this win, but probably just wishes that didn't happen last week. But
quite literally the definition of bittersweet right here.
But that's still that is a strong Final Four.
It really is, and it's not preventing Owens from doing a Polish victory lap in the burnouts of his life. Doing a great job there. But yeah, that is a great Final Four, Dalton. We've seen all 4 of those drivers be so fast and consistent all year, and that really is what the story of this entire season has been. It's consistency, and an equipment failure is enough to take away your chance at a championship, and that's what we saw today. Even with the win, the standard's so high here in BRL. There are our race results there. As we said, David Owens collecting the win. David Medina leading the most laps, but not taking home the victory. 2nd place for David Medina. Rounding out 3rd, Joey Styres. Great recovery from him. 4th, Joseph Volpis. 5th, Kyle Lynott. 6th, David Brenner. 7th, Ricky Mandela Sr. Going to keep that best of the rest lead right there. 8th, Michael Serra. 9th, Tommy Fox. And rounding out the top 10, Sam Milliken. Great job, these guys. And all the way up to 16th, staying on the lead lap. So not bad considering the amount of calamity we saw from start to finish in that race. Oh, man, I'm not going to miss this track, Dalton. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Me neither. And maybe it'll be another 4 seasons before we see this track again.
Oh, let's pray. As there is our best of the rest standings, as we anticipated. Ricky Mandela doing a great job today, holding on to that lead going into the final race for the best of the rest championship. But Joey Styres really, really closing that gap. He was in 3rd place in the standings going into today's race, and coming out of this in 2nd, only 9 points behind Mandela. So that will be something to watch next week at Homestead. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be coming at you live. That is the plan right now, at least. We will confirm for you guys later this week. But right now, the plan is to be coming at you guys live for the championship race, which means me and Dalton here on the West Coast are going to wake up when the sun isn't even out yet, when it's still dark outside, so we can be there for you guys and give you the best possible product in the championship race. And we are so excited for that. But right now, we're going to go do some throwback racing over at Darlington on Vortex Racing Network. So go over to youtube.com/@Vortex Racing Network. Scan the the QR code on the bottom right of your screen if you don't feel like typing, and come subscribe and hang out with us. We're gonna have a lot of fun today over at Darlington. Any final thoughts before we get out of Martinsville? Finally, Dalton.
My brain is numb.
Oh, as is mine.
I do have something to say. You can, definitely come to that VRN stream, and you can find out which half naked man is on my shirt today.
Oh boy, I'm excited. I mean, knowing you, it's gonna be, I'm guessing a wrestler, but I'm excited.
Nothing
That's
gets past you, buddy.
No, nothing. Oh man, I'm super excited. That's gonna be a lot of fun, and I can't wait for next week, guys. It's gonna be a great championship race for very deserving drivers who have put together a consistent, exceptional, and noteworthy season, who deserve a shot at the championship. As we saw today, winning a race not enough to lock yourself into this round of 4. That's how difficult it was to have a chance at that coveted BRL Premier Cup that will be produced by Kevin Kyle, and I'm sure will be a gorgeous trophy. But today, it's David Owens taking home a Martinsville clock from one of the best recoveries we've seen in the history of this league, one of the best I've ever personally seen. I want to take my hat off to David Owens. He's had a eventful week racing, and I'm sure this was a great way to top it off. Not much anyone can say about that one, right, David Owens? So good job, man. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you to Animal House Customs, our incredible sponsor. Please check them out at animalhousecustoms.com. Make sure to join us. We'll probably be going live in about 15-20 minutes over on YouTube. Join Buddy Solly, Kevin Kyle, Jared Kelly, Dalton Geyer, Tony Iverson, myself, Joe Volpis, and who knows who else we'll bring along today. We always have some fun surprises for you guys. But thank you all for joining us for an eventful and chaotic race at Martinsville to decide our championship 4. And next week in Miami, we are going to be crowning a champion, and I cannot be more excited. And we will confirm this in the Discord, so keep checking. Be coming at you guys live with a whole different broadcasting experience, showing you guys what VRN can do on the live side as well. But thank you all for joining us this morning. We had a great time, and we will see you all next Sunday at Homestead to crown a champion.